In this video, what we're going to do is we're going to continue our Chapter 7 alternate grader, and this is going to be part 2. So if we look at the instructions, we're in step 7, we're going to click the individual awards worksheet. So we're in individual awards right here. And we want to enter conditions in the criteria range for international sales reps that made $250,000 or more in sales. So what we're essentially going to do is use this criteria as a filter. As we discussed in class, anything on a single line is going to form an AND statement. So all of those conditions will essentially have to be true for it to either appear down here if we wanted to copy it to another location, or in place. If we basically change the array to do in place, it would reduce cells A6 through G19 to only fit what is in the criteria. If you have criteria on multiple lines, that will form an OR statement. So let's take a look at this. So we said we want to look at people that are international and also had a total of greater than equal to $250,000. So if we look at our names in this worksheet, we'll see Ron is international, but Ron only makes $202,000 and some change. So both of these conditions, since it's on the same line as an AND, would not be true, therefore we won't pull this one. If you look at the next one, Nick is also international, but he only makes $200,000. So again, Nick would not meet both of these criteria. Sally through John won't fit this criteria because they're all domestic. So the next one we look at that's international is Greg. And Greg is international, and Greg does make $266,000, which is greater than or equal to $250,000. So in this case, if we applied an advanced filter, we would expect Greg to be down here. So let's take a look at how we do this. So what we want to do is, if you put the active cell anywhere in this table, and this is essentially going to form our database. Our database is going to be rows. We covered this a couple weeks ago in a lecture, but our database is going to be rows. Actually, we should talk about fields first. Our fields are going to be our columns, so sales rep, Q1, Q2, and then all of these glued together, for example, this whole row for Ron would form a record. If we had multiple table and then multiple rows form a table. We'll learn once we get to access that we could glue multiple tables together to come up with a bigger database that is normalized. But more about that once we get to access. So again, for now, we're going to click any highlighted cell. Then we're going to do formulas, insert function, and for this one, we're going to do data, and then we're going to go to advanced filter. So if we do this, Excel is smart enough that it knows in this cell, this is going to be our database, A6 through G19, and we can confirm that right here, and it's going to be absolute values because we don't want them to change. In our criteria range, what we're going to do is we're going to grab the rows with the headers, and then also as many rows as we have that we're applying criteria to. So for this one, since we have an AND statement, it's just going to be this one row that's going to be A2 through G3. So currently, right now, if we hit OK, we would do this in place. So this database would reduce just to one row, and that would be Greg. If we want to, we can leave this intact and just show our results below here or wherever we designate that, if we do the copy to another location. So if we select this, then we're going to copy to A22 to G22, and we just need to put that row header If we click OK now, it's going to fill in Greg, and that's what we expected. So let's take a look now if we do this and do it as an OR function instead. So if we type international here, and if we clear the international in cell G3, in this particular case, since we're on multiple rows, this is going to form an OR function. So anybody that has greater than equal to $250,000 or is international is going to pop up in our selection down here. So if we go into, if we put our active cell back in our data chart again, and we click advanced, we have our list data range. That's accurate. But now if we look at our criteria, that is A2 through G3. So what we want to do then is we'll highlight this, clear this out, and now we're going to update this to be A2 through G4 because we want our criteria to reflect both of these rows. And we'll copy to another location and we'll validate that that's A22 through G22 and click OK. And now if we look at this, we have anybody international, so that's going to pull up Ron, Nick, and Greg. And then we're also going to pull up anybody that's made greater than equal to $250,000. So if we look at Swati, she's not international, but she does make $250,000. The same with Mike and the same with John. So that's how we do advanced filtering. So let's put this back in place. International. We'll clear this out. And then we'll do advanced again. So our list range A6 through A19, that's still good. But since we reduced this to an AND, we would also update our criteria range. Then we'll copy to and click this, and then now we're back to Greg again. Okay, so that covers steps 7 and 8. So let's look at steps 9 and 10, where we're going to calculate the number of international sales reps in J8 and look at the highest international sales dollars in J9. So we covered this should sound, if you recall, this should sound a lot like count and count A that we previously covered, as well as max. Since we're doing this across a database though, you simply just say, instead of decount, or instead of count or count A, you do decount or decount A. Since we want to look for international, and that's alphabetical, we're going to do decount A, and that stands for alphanumeric, versus decount, that will just do count cells that have numbers. So let's take a look at that formula. So we'll go into formulas, we'll do insert formula, and we said we wanted to do decount A, and we click on OK, and we're here comes decount A. And then our database, so if we wanted to, we could have had our cell in here. So if we cancel out of this and just like before, put this in any, or actually no, I'm sorry, keep this in J8, go back into insert function, decount A should be at the top, and then now our database is going to be just like before. It's going to be A6 through G19. And then the field is going to be the label or the column. So it's going to be the label of the column in double quotation marks, or the number that represents the column's position. So if we look, we want to base this on the total number of international reps. So that would be represented by the location column. So on field, we can either type location in double quotes, or if you wanted to be lazy, and I'm typically lazy on this, we can count the number of columns. So this would be column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4, column 5, column 6, column 7. So in field, we would put 7, and that represents the 7th column. In criteria, what we want to do is look for locations that are international. Therefore, in our criteria table, we'd select G2 through G3. And if we look at this, this is kind of the preview of the value 3. And if we look at this, that kind of makes sense, right? If we want the total number of international reps, we can see that there's 1, 2, 3 reps. So we'll click on that in 3, and that looks pretty darn good. And now on cell G9, we want to find the max value for international sales. So in this one, we'll do, so instead of max, since we're doing a database, this would be dmax. So dmax, go. We'll click on OK. And just like before, our database is going to be A6 through G19. Our field in this case is going to be the total. So that would be either total, or if we wanted to, we could put the value 6 in there because that's the 6th column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then the criteria in this case is still going to be international sales. So if we do the location here, we do this, and then if we look, it's pulling up the value 266,693. If we look at our international sales folks, if we look at Ronnie's 202,000, Nick is 200,000, and Greg is the largest with 266,000. So that looks pretty good. So what I want you guys to do when you're doing this is take a look at these previews right here and make sure it makes sense. Don't go into robot mode and just blindly put it in there, but use this and validate your work as you're going along. So we'll click OK here, and then that's all we're going to do then for steps 7 through 10. So we'll conclude here and pick up at part 3.